District Board of Directors meeting for today, June the 13th, 2017. Present are Commissioner Fuentes, Commissioner Cantu, Commissioner Flores, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in prayer.
Thank you, Judge. Let us pray. Father God, we give you thanks for another beautiful day that you've given us. Thank you for the opportunity that you give us, Lord, to come serve you today. Father God, we just keep asking for your wisdom, your understanding, your guidance, Lord, and more importantly, your peace, Lord, for this great elected body that you've appointed, Lord, this judge and 4 commissioners to lead this great county. Apply that same wisdom and understanding to myself, my staff, Lord, and all the leaders of this great county, for we know we want what is best for Hidalgo. I ask all this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Anyone sign up?
No, sir.
On our consent agenda, any concerns?
No, sir. No concerns noted. Well, there is one item. There's a. Let me see.
Mr. Scene, if you want to discuss that one item, we need to.
Yeah, let me. I will. Let me see if I need to move it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Where was it? No, but there was one item that was a typo, I thought. Unless you guys corrected it and missed it. I apologize. Give me 1 second. Alrighty. No, we're good. Never mind. Everything's in order.
Motion to approve. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 5.
Thank you. Item 5, discussion of Dow County Drainage District Number 1 project maintenance and operations. 5A1, Precinct 1 Spanish Palms Rural Drainage Development Program. It's just a subdivision that we invest in rural drainage off of 1015, just south of northwest corner of mile 13 and 1015 there in Precinct 1. And that area had experienced a lot of issues in the past, and we were able to basically provide first-time drainage to that development. An outfall to a system just south of there. So the project was completed of March 2016, and we invested $376,000 into that project. The next one is the Precinct 1 Tijerina Rural Range Development Program. Another development just the southeast corner of FM 1015 and mile 13 and a half. That one as well was an area that had experienced issues in the past. So we coupled, actually, we did the in-house engineering, design, and drainage was constructed, and then Border Colonial Access Program came and also did the road improvements in that side of that subdivision. So that was a partnership with Border Colonial Access Program. We invested $251,000 into that development for drainage, and paving was another $203,000. So together, $454,000 of improvements. That was finished back in January 2016. The number 3 item, Precinct 1 Delta West Rural Drainage Development Program. That one, as well, was another in-house design project over on Rogers Road, east of 493. And that one, again, we had some drainage issues there, so we went in there and installed drainage into our north main drain there. And we invested $209,000 in that project as well. And that one was completed at September 2015. Item 4, the RGV Hurricane Ready Expo. This was this past June 3rd there in Weslaco at the STC campus, the Mid-Valley campus. Mr. Jeremy Hicks, the STC physical science instructor, was the one who coordinated all this, and I guess my office found out about it that week before, so we set up a just informational booth. We had people from planning there, emergency management, and the sheriff's office was there as well. We had about 150 people come by, and it was good information. A lot of people, basic information about, do I live in a flood zone, or what's a flood zone? Questions, which is the emergency route to take during a hurricane. A lot of people don't realize that. They think that they can go 77, and the emergency route is actually 281. the designated route. Go 281 west and then go 281 north. That's the actual hurricane designated route. Simple stuff like that that we're able to convey to people. And then, this was all across the interesting part about this hurricane conference, that it was free for everyone. It's just open. It's not you have to sign up. Most conferences you sign up and you attend classes and so forth. They had, presentations being done throughout the morning, but it was open to the public. So they got some good feedback. They're hopeful that they'll try to promote something like this next year, and to get more information out there to the public. So it was well participated, and I think I mentioned Precinct 4 was there as well. Item 5, Drainage District Number 1 student engineering assistance. The board allowed us to create some positions last meeting, and which is I think a good program to have at the Drainage District. We have a local college here, UTRGV, and then we have also Kingsville, and then we have UT, we have A&M, we have great colleges here, engineering. But we wanted to initially start here locally, so we have some students here from UTRGV and from Kingsville. I just wanted to introduce them to you. You guys come on up. Don't hide, man. It's all right. Come on. You want to just state your name and let them know?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Osman Quintana of University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and I'm a civil engineering student. And I'd like to thank the board of members and Mr. Cestine and the Hidalgo County Drainage District for giving me this opportunity. So, thank you.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Romaldo Garza. I'm a junior at UTRGV studying civil engineering. And I just want to thank the board, everybody here at the Drainage District, and Mr. Cestine for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to what we can accomplish together. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioner and Judge. My name is Julio Garcia. I'm a civil engineer student. And I just want to thank, same as my colleagues, the board, Mr. Cestino, and not only that, but also our professors that got us this opportunity to be in this internship. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners and Judge. My name is Pedro Moreno. I'm currently undergoing civil engineering at Texas A&M Kingsville. I want to thank Mr. Cestine and the Drainage District and the board for giving us this opportunity to be on the field and helping us become better engineers. Thank you.
I'm teaching them the roll tide later, so at the end they're going to get evaluated and see how well they do with that. So as long as they get that right, we're all good. So no, they're very hands-on. Just for the public and the board, we're rotating them. We're having inside doing some computer work, doing some hydraulic work, drainage reviews and things of that nature. Under obviously the responsibility of the 2 licensed engineers we have in staff and a graduate engineer. We're also sending them out in the field. They're going to be doing some surveying work, some construction inspection work. So we want them to get a real feel of what it is to be an engineer and basically what we do at the district right now. So just kind of, I'm proud to, and I appreciate the opportunity the board has given me to create these positions to allow these young students to come on board for the summer. So they'll be with us till the end of August. Okay?
Great deal.
Very good, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
And good luck, guys.
Can you get back to work now? No. Okay. Item 6, presentation of Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 Financial Advisor Estrada and Hinojosa, request approval and authorization of financial sale and delivery of Hidalgo County Drainage District 1 Unlimited Tax Refunding Bond Series 2017. We have our consultant here to make just a quick, brief presentation to the board on that information.
Good morning, Board of Directors and County Judge. For the record, my name is Troy Madras. I'm with Estrada y Hinojosa. Here today to discuss another transaction that we're presenting to the Drainage District. If we flip to slide 1 of the presentation, I just quickly go over the overview. As you may remember, last year we did a refunding of existing Drainage District bonds and netted a good deal of savings, over $5 million in PV savings, with the goal that we would do the Drainage District, the Raymondville Drain deal this fiscal year. As you well know, due to pre-approval from the AG and other issues with the Water Development Board grant, that's been likely delayed to later this year or early next year. And so what we're hoping to do is do a minor restructuring this year that pushes us into a later time frame as in next year, and it will allow us to maintain our current INS tax rate this year and then prevent a sharp increase in the INS tax rate when we finally do the deal. If we don't do anything, rates would likely go down and then way up. This way we kind of go level and then sort of modestly grow. It will result in higher debt service in 2018, which is the plan, but it'll allow for savings in 19 and then sort of make that gradual increase in rates that we're looking to do. If we go over to slide 2, we have a tax rate impact worksheet that's similar to what I presented 2 weeks ago for the other county bond deal. And so you'll see here, going from left to right in column A, sort of our expected growth in AV. In column B, we show what our existing debt service looks like. So you'll see here in 17, it's $14.5 million. Then it drops down to $13 million. The goal was that this year we'd do the bond issue. We'd have a little breathing room for the following years. So what we're going to do there, if you see in column C, is we're going to increase debt service next year, but then decrease it in the following year. And that will allow us, if we go all the way to the last column, G, to keep the tax rate the same. And so that's essentially the restructuring. And so that will involve issuing approximately $1.9 million in bonds. Unlike other deals that we've done, say, for example, the COs that we're doing later this year, this will be done with a private placement. So it'll save money on costs, and we'll go to a bunch of different banks, in the state of Texas, local banks, and say, for these particular terms for a 1 or 2 year deal, would you be willing to work with us? And I think, as we've seen with other deals, that we'll get a good deal of interest. On slide 3, we show sort of visually what the debt service would look like. The dotted line shows that drop off in debt service over time. The bond issue is going to be that orange line, and you'll see how that's mirroring what we expect AV growth to look like. If we go to slide 4, the deal team participants, the Drainage District is obviously the issuer. We're serving as financial advisor. Chuy Ramirez at the Ramirez Law Firm is bond counsel. The Texas Attorney General's Office will serve as the approving legal opinion, and we're at this point going to determine who the purchaser will be, as well as a placement agent that will run that process. Finally, the financing timetable. We're presenting the finance plan. Later this month, we'll develop the private placement memo, so essentially the bid documents to say this is what the deal will look like. We'll receive bids from banks in July. What we're trying to do is have this schedule mirror the schedule for the 2017 COs. So on the days that you guys will be receiving the bids will also be the days that we'll be doing that other deal. And the goal is to close in mid-August. So we'll have plenty of time to be able to set the tax rate at the end of the fiscal year and go from there. Any questions? Great. So there's the item standing on item number 6. So that's up for discussion.
So you're requesting approval?
Yes, sir. I'm requesting approval, please.
Make the motion. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Thank you, Troy. Item 7, discussion, consideration, action, Dow County Drainage enrollment procedure and forms for new employees hires of the district. Currently, we utilize the county's human resources department for all that when we hire new employees, and we want to transition into doing this in-house. We have a staff member that's trained and well informed as to what's required for new hirees, and we don't have as many as the county. Very limited, maybe 1 or 2 here and there. So we want to move that over, and we want formal approval from the board. We've met with, or my staff's met with Mr. Siguero, and I think he's good with the forms we're proposing. We just want to adopt them in the district. Basically.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8, requesting approval of closing documents for parcel 5 as it relates to precinct number 2 fee simple project and authority of the chairman of the board to execute documents.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
8B, pursuant to the board's approval of agenda item number 60174A, requesting approval to issue manual payment in the amount of $2,143.63 is here at title of Hidalgo County, Inc., order file number 00031625776, parcel 5.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 9, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262.024A4, professional engineering services.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, presentation scoring grid of firms graded to the district pool of pre-qualified engineers for the purpose of ranking by ACD Board of Directors in connection with Dow County Drainage Number 1, Phase 1 drainage study. B to Z Engineering score 97, Half and Associates score 95, and SMB score of 92. Would you like to rank as stated?
So moved.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, pursuant to the board's approval, requesting authority for Dow County Drainage Number 1 to negotiate a professional engineering service agreement with the number 1 ranked firm of B to Z Engineering for the provisions of Hidalgo County Drainage 1 Phase 1 drainage study.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 10, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Code 262.024A4 for professional engineering services.
Move for approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, presentation of scoring grid of the firms graded to the district's pool of pre-qualified professional engineers for the purpose of ranking by ACD-1 Board of Directors in connection with on-call professional construction material testing services precinct number 1 projects. For the record, Theracon Consultants Inc. 91.6, Professional Engineering Services PSI 92.6, and Millennium Engineers Group Inc. 96.6. Would the board like to rank as stated?
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, pursuant to the board's approval, requesting authority for the Hidalgo County Drainage Number 1 to negotiate a professional engineering services agreement with number 1 ranked firm of Millennium Engineers Group Inc. for the provisions of on-call professional construction material testing services precinct number 1 projects.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. 11, request approval of notice to suspend work to Castle Enterprises LLC related to the construction contract number CACDD1 1700700418, Precinct 2, Minnesota Cesar Chavez Area Drainage Improvement Project, effective 6/7/17.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Just for the record, that's a project we're doing in Precinct 2. We're working right now with the Irrigation District on the interlocal. Legal's been involved. They've been in contact with their legal. We're almost there, so we want to stop the time on it, give us a little time to get that interlocal. I'm hopeful that we can work everything through and try to get it on the next board agenda. And as soon as we get it approved and they get it approved, we'll reinstate this project. But it's moving forward. We just got about a little time to get this interlocal. It's taking a little bit longer than we anticipated. Item 12, requesting approval to create 1 temporary student engineering assistant position for the district's engineering department. Requirement for the slot is to be a UT RGV junior or senior level engineering student, and will work for a period from June 13th through August 31st, not to exceed 40 hours per week at the rate of $15 per hour.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, request approval to exempt this temporary position and allow the general manager and Dr. Ho, assistant professor and associate chair, Department of Civil Engineering, UTRGV, to select the candidate.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, request budget amendment from the general fund to the fund the above mentioned position in the amount of $9,700 for salary and fringes.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 13, approval to exercise district's option to terminate agreement under Article 3.45 as stated in the current agreement for professional engineering services with R. Gutierrez Engineering Corporation for Alamo Expressway Drain South Floodwater Channel to include related work authorizations and supplemental agreements with authorization to issue written notice of termination to R. Gutierrez Engineering Corporation and for ACD-1 engineer Noe Saldivar to assume the role as project manager for project closing procedures.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Let me. Any questions?
Asking where's that? Is it?
Yeah.
Is this the one that's
It's on the
Alamo
south
Road?
side. What happened there is we had put it out to bid. Mr. Gutierrez is the actual engineer of record, but Dos Logistics was the sub that actually ran everything. Dos Logistics, my understanding, really doesn't exist anymore. So we had already kind of taken action to cancel that construction contract, and we were going to do it in-house, the rebidding and manage it in-house, and this is just a formal action to get that done. We're trying to close out a portion of the project there. We bought the contract order some pumps and some gates, which we have possession of. we're paying for that, and some other bid bond and some other stuff that were worked out already through legal. So we want to close that out. Once that's closed out, the district's going to take over with the plans, check everything, and rebid it under the district, us managing everything completely. That one is it's south of what would be Border Road, sir. You go straight south, that would be basically the structure in the IBWC that's governing that. That's this one here. Yes, sir. Where the curve is in precinct 2 there, if that ditch, it goes straight south all the way to IBWC. Okay. Item 14, request approval of change order number 2 in the amount of $748,715.78 to decrease and zero out construction contract ACDD 1-14-008-0708, precinct 2 Alamo Expressway drain as per agenda item 58751, approval by board on March 7, 2017.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, upon approval of item A, request approval to issue payment for payment application number 8, retainage release to the Texas Cordia Construction LLC in the amount of $8,086.06 pertaining to construction contract number ACDD 1-14-008-0708, precinct 2 Alamo Expressway drain, subject to submittal, let me just put this for the record, submittal of closing documentation for auditing purposes.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 15, request approval to issue payment for application number 6 in the amount of $73,093.86 to Texas Cordia Construction LLC pertaining to construction contract ACDD 1-16-006-0426 J09 drain improvements phase 2 from Rio Grande Care Road to North Main drain.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
We do have an item, executive session.
205-51-071 and 072 of the Texas Government Code need a motion to proceed to executive session.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We will be in executive session for a short while. We are back in open session.
Thank you, Judge. Item 17A, real estate acquisition, will proceed as directed. And 17B, no action.
All right. Need a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. At this time, we're going to be convening our regular meeting of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court. President are Commissioner Fuentes, Commissioner Cantu, Commissioner Flores, and myself. We have a quorum. Then before we do our pledge, I want to remind everyone that tomorrow, Wednesday, is Flag Day. Flag Day commemorates the adoption of the Stars and Stripes as the official flag of the new nation, the United States of America, by resolution of the Second Continental Congress on June 14, 1777. Two presidents issued proclamations asking for June 14th to be observed as National Flag Day. President Woodrow Wilson in 1916, and President Calvin Coolidge in 1927. However, it wasn't until August 3, 1949, that Congress approved the national observance, and it was signed into law by President Harry Truman. So tomorrow, let us celebrate our grand old flag as the emblem of the land we love and the home of the free and the brave, to paraphrase the George M. Cohan song. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Who are going to sing the song, Jim?
We need volunteers, Joe. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the citizens of Hidalgo County. Give us your wisdom as we make decisions that will affect them today and in the years to come. Help us to work well together, recognizing that each of us are here because we want what is best for Hidalgo County. We ask for your blessing and your guidance, and in your name we pray.
Our consent agenda,
Yes, we do have one concern, 11B, and so if we could take action on the consent agenda with the exception of 11B, and for the record, Commissioner Fuentes is abstaining from 10B, consent agenda 10B, C, and D.
So moved.
Second. Before we act on it, I want to point out that the consent agenda consents a payment under our tax increment reinvestment zone policies to the City of Mission for $2,568,815, which is money that we're reimbursing the developer of certain areas within this TERS in the City of Mission. The City of Mission has been reimbursed to date a total of $19,977,187. All right, those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Ms. Martin?
Okay, there, 11B, under purchasing, this is for Precinct 2, requesting authority to enter into a 36-month lease. It's a capital lease with Canon Financial Services, copier model as indicated on the agenda, through the DIR's contract, requisition 343161, in the amount of, and this is a correction, $96.68. Everything else being as noted, except for the second to the last line. It's for a total monthly cost of not the $202.40, but rather $191.26, effective upon and delivery of installation and subject to 1295 compliance.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you. Oh, yes, that's together. Oh, so you had A and B? I mean, 1 and 2? Item 2, it's correct. She's correct. Requesting authority to enter into a 36-month capital lease with Canon Financial Services, copier model as noted on the agenda through DIR, in the amount of, and requisition number 343341, $158.63 per month. Also, $40 per month for black and white. That includes 5,000 black and white copies, $40 a month, with averages billed at 0.008 per copy. 500 color copies per month at $31.80. Overages billed at, as noted on the agenda, monthly cost $230.43, effective upon approval and delivery and installation.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 5A.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Ricardo Saldaña, Emergency Manager.
Morning, Chief.
Give you a report on the 2017 Dare to Prepare Fairs will be held June the 19th, 2017, Community Resource Centers to assist constituents with information and preparing for emergency. The fairs will be held from June 19th through the 23rd from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. On Monday on South Tower CRC in Alamo. On Tuesday, the Progreso CRC. On Wednesday, the San Juan CRC. On Thursday, the Monte Alto CRC. And Friday, the Endowment Community Center in La Blanca. There's over 20 county and community organizations, businesses, and AGs have signed up to provide information on emergency preparedness. Dare to Prepare is open to everyone, but targeted to colonial residents with tips on information on preparing for information and getting their disaster kits ready. Public Affairs Officer, in partnership with Texas A&M Colonia's program, Community Resource Centers, and the Office of Emergency Management coordinate these fairs each year. In the communities such as ours, will threat of hurricane, thunderstorms, and are the like, county urges residents to consider the importance of hurricane preparedness. Through these county fairs, Hidalgo County aims to increase the residents' preparedness, awareness, provides critical information, resources to residents in the manner to conveyed to them. The fair will educate and empower the community to make them informed and responsible in preparedness to alert the residents of the importance of preparing for disasters. That's our report on the Dare to Prepare this coming summer, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, Commissioners, since we have Chief Saldana up at the podium, I would ask if with the court's permission, can we go to item 14, emergency management, and get Chief out of the way? I know he's got some things he needs to take care of this morning.
If I may, Judge and Commissioners, item 14A, requesting authorization to purchase promotional items such but not limited to pens, pencils, backpack, etc. for the use of the Office of Emergency Management during community outreach expos related to the department's innovation and promoting emergency preparedness and awareness. There's two of them, and this is to be able to hand out these materials to our residents in Hidalgo County, like the Dare to Preparers, the National Night Outs, and various other events that we are invited to promote the emergency management aspect of preparing the citizens of Hidalgo County in case of a national disaster or man-made disaster.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day. Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Under item 5B, the appointment of a member to the Hidalgo County Housing Authority Board. I wanted to appoint Mr. Juan Maldonado of San Juan.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Bro.
Item 6A, RD.
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. Item 6A, Hidalgo County DA's Office Domestic Violence Specialty Prosecutor Grant, Fund 1281. Approval to submit a DVSP grant number 2931302 budget adjustment to the Office of the Governor.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 7, our County Clerk's Office. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. We're actually here for two items. Our first item is the selection of the Grievance Salary Committee. Let me get organized here. Just as a reminder, as of right now, the committee is made up of the county judge, who serves as chairman. He is not entitled to vote. The sheriff, the county tax assessor and collector, the county treasurer, the county clerk, the district clerk, the criminal district attorney, and 3 members from the public. So what we're here for today is to select the members from the public.
Right.
So we have to draw the names.
Okay. La suerte, Joe.
Puedo hacer la mejor.
We're going to select 3 names and then 6 alternates.
I'll get them all 3 first time. 1, 2, 3.
And you can just call up the names, and I believe they have it. Just don't mention the addresses. Candelario Sainz Jr. is the first one, first member. Angela Garcia is the second. And the third one is Denise Quintanilla. And then we need to select 6 more.
6 more, right?
And those are the alternates.
A ver, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And I'll call them out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For the record, the names that were called out as members are Candelario Sainz Jr., he is from FAR, Angela Garcia, she's from Edinburgh, and Denise Quintanilla from McAllen. Those are the 3 that were selected as members. As alternate, we have 6 names that were selected, and they are Sylvia Cantu from Edinburgh. David A. Puente from Mission. Noé Saúl Murillo from FAR. Irene Rosales, also from FAR. Mirta Espinosa from Mission. And the last alternate is Dora Luz Alvarez from McAllen. So those were the 6 alternates. Letters will be going out to the members. If any of the members do not accept the duties as members, then we'll start with the alternates.
Do we need a motion, action to appoint?
Yes, please.
Approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The second item that we're here for is for the city of Alton. As you may recall, back in March, we discussed the decision of the state. They have been meeting with local registrars in an effort to consolidate local registrars and all the records to the county clerk's office. As of right now, we've had one JP, Jerry Munoz, who's transferred his duties and records to the county clerk's office. We're very pleased to say that we've hit the ground running and we've got all of that set up with the state. And now we have the city of Alton wanting to transfer all their records to us also. They've gone before the city commission and that's been approved through them. So now it's just a matter of the county commissioners or the commissioners court approving that the county clerks accept these records.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And I do want to add that this is at no additional cost to the county in any way. And that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, just for the record, I know we took roll call this morning, and I apologize, I should have mentioned this earlier. But Commissioner Palacios couldn't join us this morning because he is at the South Texas County Judges Commission Association seminar, and he is being sworn in this morning as the chairman to the South Texas County Judge Commissioners Association.
Thank you, Valde. Item 8, Constables, Precinct 1.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Martin Blanco, Constable's Office, Precinct number 1. The first item I have is item A88AI-60113. Constable Precinct 1 requesting approval to process the following invoice as claims with authority for County Treasurer to issue payment to Border Animal Hospital. PC after the review, audit, and processing procedures are completed by the county auditor for the amount of $442.18 under purchase order number 762493.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. The second item, item B, is AI-60112, Constable Precinct number 1, authorization and approval to apply for the 2017 COPS Hiring Program, CHP grant, with the Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services, COPS, U.S. Department of Justice.
Move for approval. Well, I'm going to approve it subject to something, but isn't this the same program that the Sheriff's Department had applied for when the grant, Judge?
Well, I know it's a COPS program, but I'm not sure if
somebody from the Sheriff's Department here. And I remember clearly that I think when the grant was over, they had to get rid of the employees.
Commissioner, yes, this is similar to previous grants. Well, in general, this is a grant program out there called COPS Hiring Program. It is similar to what the Sheriff's Office has done. I believe that this has also been undertaken with other constables in the past. You are correct, Commissioner, with respect to the last, and Chief Riveda's up at the podium, but with respect to the last award with the Sheriff's Office for COPS, the court had discussed and had, at the end of the discussion, entertained that any future grant awards or applications for grants that required cash match for whatever the period was, whatever the percentage was, split between us and whoever the grant agency is, and a one-year retention period, that individuals, if the court took action, individuals that are hired under these programs would be advised from day one that they were under a grant, and that after the retention period of the county, that there is no expectation of employment with the County of Hidalgo, except for the case if there are vacancies within the county in other areas of law enforcement or any other position for that matter. But that was my recollection of the last discussion the court had with respect to these types of grants. While these types of grants are beneficial to counties throughout the state with respect to the percentage at the get-go being low on the county side, obviously towards the end, it's a sliding scale. Towards the end, the county picks up more of the percentage, and at the end picks up, at least for one funding cycle, 100% of the cost. And the issue in the past has been, given the applications, the last one was quite a large application with respect to the number of deputies that was asked for. There was a significant economic cost to the county with the 1-year retention, and then the issue of the 2 or 3 or 4 years, however long the program was, the fact that there was already that service being provided to the community for that period of time, and the impact that that was going to have to the residents of the county.
So, in other words, they are going to know that it's going to be under grant.
Yes, if the court takes action, it would be known from day one that they are under a grant, and their employment is subject to those award of monies. And after the county's obligation with the retention period, there is no expectation of employment with the County of Hidalgo.
So you don't know what the cash match would be right now?
Right now, there's the first year is 25%, second year is 25%, the third year would be just shy of 61%, and then the 1 year 100% retention by the county for a full budget cycle.
And do you have money set aside for that?
No. Obviously, whatever action is taken today, then Mr. Cruz from the budget office would have to do what he needs to do during the budgeting process to set aside those funds for the following year, year 3, and then the 1 year commitment for the funding cycle.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Precinct 4, Constable.
Good morning, Deputy Lee Cantu, Precinct 4 Constable. Discussion, consideration, and approval to appoint Jessica Maruquin and Mari D. Solis as Reserve Deputy Constables by Constable A.J.R. Gaitan, Constable Precinct 4, in accordance with the Texas Local Government Code, Section 86.012.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 9, our Sheriff's Office.
Good morning, Joel Rivera with Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office. Agenda item 9A, discuss consideration and approval to appoint Yesenia R. Hernandez, student at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, as intern under the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office Law Enforcement Internship Program for the period of June 2017 through July 2017.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Agenda item 9B, authorization and approval to purchase 5 cell phone lines additions through the county's membership participation in contract DIR TSO 3415 through Verizon Wireless.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
2, authorization and approval to activate the following cell phone plan, nationwide 400, share and email data unlimited, nationwide mobile-to-mobile messaging unlimited for 5 cell phones at a monthly rate of $47.99 per device. Estimated monthly rate for 5 cell phones is $239.95. The equipment is included at no cost.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 10, our Executive Office.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. I'm going to go straight to 10B, the discussion, consideration, and action on memorandum of understanding between the County of Hidalgo and El Milagro Clinic. Judge, Commissioners, we had some discussions with El Milagro Clinic with respect to services to our constituents via direct services under the for health. There is, for the court's consideration, an MOU for El Milagro Clinic to provide direct health clinical services to our residency of the county. This would be a one-time memorandum of understanding with El Milagro Clinic in the amount of $50,000. There are a couple of concerns by the auditor's office, but I will address those concerns right now. There's a couple of blanks on the MOU. The blanks are, as I've always said, for obvious reasons, in that I don't know what the court will do with respect to the action today. One of the blanks is the commencement of the services upon action of the court and signature of the of El Milagro, the date that they signed. That would be the commencement of that service, and two, it would be for no more than 1 year, commencing on the date that they signed.
There's also blanks, or the exhibits themselves are also blank. So the deliverables that the county would be receiving in exchange for the $50,000, that's not clear.
Right. That would be provided.
So our recommendation would be that that would be completed first, and that next Commissioners Court meeting, once.
I'm going to ask the court to take action today because of the services that we need to provide to our constituency. One, two, legal counsel we have been working with legal counsel on this, and the legal counsel that's been working on is Josephine Ramirez's office. So they are the ones that worked on that MOU. Again, any issues of concern that arise obviously would be undertaken.
I did talk to Victor, and he said that he did draft the MOU, but just approved it as to form. As far as the specifics and the deliverables,
right.
you know, that would be the county, but
right.
that's
not
clear.
No, I
so it's
understand.
unclear what we're going to approve today.
We're approving a memorandum of understanding with El Milagro Clinic to provide direct clinical services to the residency of Hidalgo County.
My understanding is, I believe we had a memorandum of understanding with El Milagro probably about 10 years ago, and it should be the same deliverables as far as the funding amount. We do have an action item under budget management to appropriate $50,000, and we will list the funding source, attach the exhibit with the funding source and the amount, but we are recommending approval of that. Right.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Balde, I got a question on the previous, the Constable Precinct 1, number B. Is that that grant, is that going to help us assist with the Delta area or not?
That would be, I would imagine it would, Commissioner, but again, the grant is with Precinct 1 Constable, and as of right now, Precinct 1 Constable is charged with all of the area of Precinct 1, which includes the Delta area.
How many deputies are we supposed to hire there?
I believe it was...
I believe it's only one deputy.
One deputy.
And I do believe he was going to be assigned to the Delta area.
Yeah.
Most of these are community policing, or if not, cops and schools grants that we can get for. So I believe the individual deputy was going to be within the schools during the school hours, and then community policing anytime when there's no school.
All right. That's my question.
Item 10C, Judge Commissioners, there's a request by the Museum of South Texas History to use the county parking lots near the museum for visitors for the following events.
So moved.
They are,
I approve the graph. Summer Nights, Fandango, Dia de los Muertos, Fiesta de Noche Buena.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item D, under environmental compliance, we're asking consideration approval of a revised order with SCP Hidalgo County Precinct 1. That would be RN 105335459, and that's docket number 2016-1986-MLM-E. This is enforcement case number 53322. This is with authority for the county judge to sign the order due to language change in section 1, jurisdiction and stipulations, and that would be page 1 as requested by TCEQ, and that's the first paragraph, and item number 4, which now includes an SEP.
For approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item E for public defense, we're requesting approval of payment for 2 attorney vouchers totaling $1,117.50. This is for attorney Sidney Meadows in connection with legal representation of indigent defendants, with authority for county treasurer to issue payment after review and auditing procedures are completed by our county auditor. Everything is in order with this request, Judge Commissioners.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item F, I'm asking approval to accept the settlement check from Texas Farm Bureau Casualty Insurance Company in the amount of $489.78, and this will settle an auto accident claim with one of our county vehicles.
For approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item G, I'm asking approval to accept the settlement money order from Gerardo Islas in the amount of $300, and this will settle an auto accident claim with one of our county vehicles.
For approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item H, I'm asking approval to accept the settlement check from Lexington Insurance Company in the amount of $5,775.60 to settle storm damages to county property during the weather event of May 31st, 2016.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item I is approval to accept the settlement check from the city of San Juan in the amount of $685 to settle property claim with one of our county pieces of equipment, a tractor to be specific.
Approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, just again, I know I've said this before in the past, but just to make a notation, these settlement checks from the various entities that we've been working with are as a result of the efforts from the Safety Department in connection with working with Atlas Hall Rodriguez, as well as working with our Civil Litigation Division, Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office. These are cases that, while, in looking at it, may not be large amounts, $489. There's one for $685. In the aggregate, we do spend the time and effort to collect what we believe is owed to the county in furtherance of our representation of the constituency. So we have item 11, HR. Oh, I'm sorry, and there's nothing to report today on item 11A. I mean 10A.
All right.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Raul Silguero, Executive Office and Human Resources. Item 11, just the first order of business is under item 11 is to request a waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments so that we can take action on the items that follow. So can I get an approval of the waiver, please?
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, item 11A is for the Executive Office / the Veteran Services Office. And the item is discussion, consideration, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. Mr. Guerra is requesting approval to create 2 Assistant Veteran Services Officers, slot number 009 and 0010 at a salary of $31,255. I believe he has briefed you on the issues.
I'm okay making the motion. I just want to make a quick comment. We see a lot of, we have one of the
Veterans Officer in your precinct, yes, sir.
And they have a lot of traffic, and it's a one-man show when it comes to that. So.
Currently, we have three officers, and we have Mr. De Los Santos is out on FMLA, and I believe another employee is out on FMLA as well. So we only have Mr. Felix Rodriguez, who is out of West Laco, and I think he's been coming over here. I think he's here. So we're pretty short-handed, and I think we have to allow for those kind of events. People out on leave, on vacation, on FMLA, and I think we are understaffed in that area.
Yeah, but my point was that they handle a workload by themselves completely, and they need more assistance. So anything we can do.
Yeah, I think you need some clerical support over there. I think that's what you're alluding to. Yes, sir.
Yes, make a motion.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 2 is approval of the interdepartmental transfer so we can fund the positions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item B, Sheriff's Office, discussion, consideration, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. This item is to approve clothing allowance for the positions as listed, 0058, 0331, 378, and 405 in the amount of $500 each.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item C, this is for County Court at Law Number 2. Judge Commissioners, this is discussion, consideration, approval to extend a temporary full-time clerk 1 position, slot T006, not to exceed an additional 12 weeks and/or September 8, 2017.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 2 is approval of the intra-departmental transfer for the funding.
Aye. Motion carries.
And for approval on item C2.
C2?
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Item 11D, Elections Department. This is discussion, consideration, approval to extend 10 temporary full-time election clerk positions, slots numbers T-184 through T-193, not to exceed 6 months, and or 1231. This is for additional elections.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Well, subject to funding, I would, okay, we'll talk to Sergio about this. Item E, for Constable Precinct 3, Judge Commissioners, the law enforcement pay plan has a probationary training step, and when the employee completes the 6 months probationary period, they're moved to step 1. Sometimes through clerical errors, this is not done, and this is what happened here. So this is discussion, consideration, and approval of back pay payment as per Exhibit A to employee number 142247 for completing the probationary period requirements according to the law enforcement pay plan on 6/8/2016. That's when he completed. He should have been moved to step 1, and he was not moved until this year.
Move for approval. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Item 12, Urban County.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. My name is Lupita Garcia in representation of Diana Serna for Hidalgo County Urban County Program. The first item is to hold a public hearing to consider public comments for Hidalgo County Precinct Number 2, propose a program amendment for fiscal year 2016 to decrease the street improvements line item and funding and increase the other public facility improvement line items for the San Juan Youth Center project.
Move for approval.
No, we just
Oh,
have-
that's a public hearing.
That's just to hold a public hearing. If
This
anybody
time,
has
we're
any
going to
questions.
open up and convene a public hearing to consider public comment for Hidalgo County Precinct 2's proposed program amendment for fiscal year 2016. Is there anyone here that desires to speak on this matter? No one having risen. This time we're going to close the hearing and proceed to item number 12A2.
Request approval of program amendment, budget and program amendment for the Hidalgo County Precinct Number 2 fiscal year 2016 to decrease the street improvements line item funding and increase the other public facility improvements line item for the San Juan Youth Center.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, subject to HB 25 compliance, requesting consideration and action to award and enter into a construction contract with RG Enterprise LLC, DBA G&G Contractors for the City of Granjeno for a 2016 Parks Improvement Facility project in the amount of $149,000 from fiscal years 20, 28, and 29. The City of Granjeno Parks Recreational Facility Improvement Fund line items will be utilized.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, the Urban County Program would like to request authorization to cancel the existing contract with Lefevre Engineering and Management in the amount of $7,500 for sidewalk improvements to Main Street within the City of Peñitas. Urban County Program recommends that it cancel the contract and close out purchase order number 9995.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D, request to approve to reject bids submitted for the City of Donna Fire Station equipment for fiscal year 2016.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item E, the Urban County Program is requesting approval for a budget and program amendment for the City of Alton. The proposed amendment is for fiscal years 27 and 29 work plans.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item F, the Urban County Program is requesting approval for amendment number 1 to professional engineering service contract with Javier Hinojosa Engineering. The amendment will increase the contract amount of $631,834 by $25,000 for a total amount of $656,834. It will include additional scope of services for the Peñitas Drain project.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item G, the Urban County Program on behalf of the City of Peñitas is requesting approval for amendment number 1 for professional engineering services contract with South Texas Infrastructure Group, LLC, from Mission, Texas, for the 2015 Peñitas Street Improvement Project.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item H, subject to compliance with HB 1295, when and if applicable, the Urban County Program is requesting approval of bids for the approval of contracts with Quality Investments and RG Enterprises LLC, DBA G&G Contractors for the demolition and reconstruction of the following: 1 unit in the city of Progreso, 1 unit in the city of Edcouch, 2 units in the city of Westaco, and the total contract amount of $249,108 to Quality Investments, and 1 unit in the city of Donna, 1 unit countywide area, and 1 unit in the city of Hidalgo, 2 units in the city of San Juan, and a total contract amount of $299,500 for RG Enterprise LLC, DBA G&G Contractors.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 13, our Health Department.
Skip that item, Judge.
All right, item number 14, well, we've done in that one. Item 15, our Elections Office.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Hilda Salinas, Elections Analyst with the Hidalgo County Elections Department, and I'm here on the behalf of Ms. Yvonne Ramon, who could not be here today. I'm here on the item discussion, consideration, and action, but not limited to election updates. This past Saturday was Election Day for the City of San Juan and City of Mercedes runoff elections. I'm happy to report that everything went very smoothly and everything went well. Now that that is over, we will be commencing our outreach plan to promote and educate the public on the new voting machines and countywide polling locations. So that is all that we have to report right now, unless you all have any questions.
When are you going to start using the new machines?
In November, sir, the November Constitutional.
And are we going to start voting at voting centers?
Yes, the countywide polling locations will be implemented as well in November.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Item 16, our Head Start program.
We have an item, discussion and consideration and action authorizing the submittal of a supplemental application for budget year January the 1st, 2017 to December the 31st, 2017 in the amount of $259,717 for a 1% cost of living COLA retroactive to 1/1/17. This is an across-the-board 1%. It is going to be applied to all employees and to the scale. Attached to your information is the letter that we received from the Office of Head Start, and then attached to that is a narrative.
We're going to table it, huh? Yeah. I think Balde had a question on it. But I'm
not sure where Balde. Let me grab it.
Sorry, they had asked a question earlier. Obviously, with respect to changes in the budgets and stuff, when do you get your budget from the federal government with respect to what you're authorized to pay and what your allocations are per line item?
Okay, that is on October the 1st, but this is a supplemental application only for COLA. And this one is received on the 2nd. We met with Balde for the bylaws and Steve Crane and Mr. Castle from Commissioner Palacios' office last Tuesday. I made him aware of it and brought in the narrative. All of it is downloaded online, and so the only amount left from there is being used for instructional materials. But this is for increases in staff salaries as well as the scale. It moves up by 1%.
So typically when you have an adjustment like this, it's perpetual. It continues on from year to year. And I guess the question becomes, are you confident that the federal funding is going to continue to fund us at the level appropriate to keep up with the pay salaries as well as provide all the other resources that our kids need there at the program?
Yes, we have a 5-year grant. This is our 2nd year,
and there's the commitment to the grant for 5 years, and then any supplemental increases that come in would come for approval before you and Policy Council, and of course they'll have to, we submit it and then they send us back information whether that's been approved. It goes through approvals for them too, from them too.
So does the federal government require that it's across the board for every employee at the same rate, or does it allow for, the buckets or the different levels of administration versus teachers and supplemental aids? It doesn't give some guidance?
Not the COLA.
For them is a little bit different
Right.
from 1% at an
Sure.
administrative level.
Right. The cost of living adjustment has always been across the board, and if you will look at the letter that we got from the Office of Head Start, it talks about a portion of the increase provides a cost of living adjustment of 1% depending on the funding decisions. That's from Congress. And then it goes on to talk about doing the 1%. It says the rationale, there must be a rationale if there's going to be anything less than 1%. And at this particular point, 1% is all that is there. It is limited, and so it's always been the direction to do the minimum and more. We do not do more, we don't have more. So we haven't had more in a long time, so we do the 1% across the board.
But is all of this funded by that federal grant?
Yes, sir. And next year's funding will include the additional 1%. So in other words, our grant is being increased by $259,717. And from now on, that will be there. That's why they also provide for the scale to go up. It's not just the current employees, but the scale goes up by 1% for all positions on the scale.
So a question we had is, could we increase the lower paid employees by more than 1%? In other words, take the $250,000 and apply more of it to some of the lower paid employees, up, so maybe above 1%. Can that be done?
That can be done once your 1% is looked at as being at least that as a minimum, and then the remaining $60,000 can go to increase. You have to provide a rationale why you're doing others more than the 1%.
12%, the
Right.
$12 minimum wage.
Yeah.
Or just to be competitive with teachers and bus drivers?
You already have the minimum wage, right? 12.
Right. When we look at what we have, yes, we do. We have the minimum wage, and when you looked at the hours worked and the days worked, you're looking at more than $12 per hour in terms of our program. As you know, our program does not work the same number of days that other counties' employees. We follow more like a school schedule. For example, right now, all of the field staff is out for 8 weeks, and they're talking about teachers and center managers. Central office staff will have 5 weeks off. We shut down 3 weeks. And then there's 2 weeks off in Christmas, 1 week off in Thanksgiving, spring break. So when you look at all the time that is off and you actually take the total amount and divide it by the days worked, you really are at more than $12.65 an hour. But the amount that's there, the $60-some thousand, can be taken and divided up into salaries. What we did is we just went ahead and applied it to supplies and materials, which is something that can be done as you look at the information that is there. The question, I think, was also brought up, and I gave information on whether the retroactive is there. It's always been the retroactive part because it is for fiscal year 2017. From January to December. And before the meeting, we got notification. We wanted to be sure that we had something in writing from our program officer, who was the financial officer, and he sent an email, and I gave a copy. We have copies of that talks to that, and talks to, yes, it goes retroactive.
I was looking at this thing here, assistant cooks, head cooks, they're only making $20,000. Is that less than not full-time or what?
No, they should be making $20,500 at least.
Yeah, well, that's not $12 an hour, 2,080 hours a year.
Well, you use the 2,080 hours a year, but they don't work the 2,080
I know
hours.
they don't, that's what I mean, it's part-time then? Because they don't get the 2,080 hours a week, a year.
They work the calendar that we have, as I
the
mentioned.
calendar, that's what I mean. There's about 3 months that they don't get paid for, right?
Yes, they get the same amount, yes.
Do you have the typical 187 work days, or is it?
We have 176, but for example, the field staff has 8 weeks off in the summer. So it's more days than the 176 the schools have. But when you look at holidays and the time off, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, spring break, you're looking at about 12 weeks off.
It's not really a 2,080
Work, no.
job because
No.
they're off for a couple
It
of
was
months.
for me to take a part-time.
Well,
Because
it's a
or
school
they don't make $12
schedule.
an hour. You
Right.
divide it by 2,000. Because actually they're supposed to get a paycheck every 2 weeks.
They do.
Even they're off.
They do.
So
They
actually
do.
they don't get $12 an hour.
Well, when they're
If
now,
you multiply 2,080 times $12, it's
that's what I mentioned to you, that when you look at the 2080, that's what the year is.
Yes.
But the staff is not working those number of days or those
That's
hours.
what I mean.
So
Yes.
the
They're not
salary is-
working 40 hours a week.
Right, so well, in essence, the salary, whatever the salary is prorated. Prorated is not the right word to use. Whatever the salary is distributed
Over
throughout-
9 months.
Through 26 pay
Right,
periods.
so 26 pay periods, but the equivalency of
Of the time worked is less.
Time worked is at least $12 an hour?
It's about 10 months.
That when you subtract the number of days worked, not worked, yes.
So it's not 12 hours, it's 10 something.
10 something.
I guess our biggest concern, we always look at the people that are making less as opposed, I think, this court has always not taken COLAs and stuff.
Yes.
And so we wanted to just make sure that the money was going to the teachers
Right.
and the people below the teachers in terms of pay. So we wanted to look at that, and I thought that's what we were going to do.
Well, Judge, Commissioners, and if I'm mistaken, and Ms. Teresa, please correct me if I'm wrong. The application, we still have time for the application through the end of the month, through the 30th?
To the 30th.
30th, okay. We do have at least one, if not two more court sessions before the end of the month. So I am going to recommend to the court just to take a no action because we did get, Ms. Teresa and I spoke last night. I got some more information from her. She did get clarification on the retro. So I'd like at least another week or so to work with Ms. Teresa, and then we will disseminate the information to you all this week.
Because it could be that we approve this, but let's look at a couple other options where some of the lower paid people are paid more.
Exactly. So, again, I'd recommend no action so we can work with Ms. Teresa. We'll disseminate that information this week so that it would be on the next court session.
What has transpired in the past also is that the Office of Head Start provides quality funds which are to enhance, but that hasn't occurred in a long time, and so it's always been just the across-the-board kind of recommendation.
Does this 1% have to go to salaries?
Yes, and benefits.
Oh, so it can be.
It's benefits and salaries, and then what's left over can go to other items. And if you notice it in the second page of the memorandum, it talks about that you can go out there and apply it to other operating expenses that the program has. And usually we deal with the curriculum and instruction part in the classroom. Now, the information also covers action on the TDA, although TDA does not come from the federal grant, but we apply the same increases to the Texas Department of Agriculture, which is our nutrition department staff, which is a staff of about 30 people. Okay, so those would be under their grant. They will cover that particular increase.
I guess based on Bubba's recommendation, if you could just get some clarification with him on the direction and maybe consider Commissioner Cantu's request with respect to how we can maybe allocate that 1% to try to impact a little bit more of the people that support and supplement.
Right.
That would be a good consideration. So.
Okay.
Out of the 700 employees, probably half of them earn less than 20,000 or less, right?
About half, yes. I'm not sure why that shows that less than 20, but it's last year's approval was at 20,500. Some of them, if you see some that are half-time people, that like, for example, some bus aides that we have that are only working 4 hours. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. And Mr. Balde, you'll let me know when we can meet. Okay?
Thank you, Teresa.
Judge, Commissioners, we need to make a clarification, and Steve, I know that there was, this has to do with Urban County, so we held a public hearing, but just for the record, we need to make a clarification on the action item number 2. Based on that clarification, I'm going to ask whether or not we would have to open the public hearing again. It's a one-word clarification. The item 12A2, the action number 2 was requesting approval of a program amendment for Hidalgo County Precinct number 2, so forth and so on. The clarification should have been, for the record, requesting approval of a budget program amendment. A budget and program amendment.
No, but I don't know if it'd be on the safe side.
So, Steve, again, it's a clarification.
Well,
would that make a difference? I mean, does
you
that...
have the same clerical error in 12A1.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So,
To be safe, why don't we go ahead and reopen
the Judge, then I'm going to ask that we go back to item 12A1 and 2, and if we could open up the public hearing again.
But what's the proper language you want me to use?
Should
Budget
say,
program amendment.
right, yes, could you please?
It's just one word, right?
It's just that one word, but
budget.
We need to convene, this time we're going to convene a public hearing to consider public comments for Hidalgo County Precinct 2's proposed budget program amendment for fiscal year 2016 to decrease street improvements line item funding and increase the other public facility improvements for the San Juan Youth Center project. Anyone here desiring to make any comments on this issue?
And while the audience contemplates whether or not they'd like to come to the podium, could you make, Lupita, could you please make that clarification?
Yes, the clarification is for the indication of a program amendment, and it should be a budget and program amendment because we are both moving funding from one line item to another and also creating a line item for the other public facility improvements, which makes it a program amendment as well.
All right, no one desiring to speak. At this time, we're going to close the hearing. And at this time, we're going to need action requesting approval of a program,
of a budget and
program amendment for Hidalgo County Precinct number 2 for fiscal year 29 to decrease street improvement line item funding and increase the other public facility improvements line item for the San Juan Youth Center project.
Is that language correct for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
All right, item 17A, Precinct 1.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. Item 17A, authorization and approval to rename CR 1281 in Precinct 1 to Legal Road as recommended by LRGV DC 911.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 17B, authorization and approval of naming a segment of a street as Rio Street in Precinct 1 as approved and recommended by the LRGV DC 911.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
And Judge Commissioners, I apologize. We did skip item 13A. I was outside with Ms. Fern. This is under the Health and Human Services Department. This is the annual fee schedule. With the court's permission, it is pursuant to Chapter 121 Local Public Health Reorganization Act, Section 121.006. We're requesting approval of the schedule of fees effective June 13, 2017. All the fees and appropriate paperwork were attached to the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you so much, Judge Commissioners.
And for the record,
There's
no
no
action
under
on 13B or 13C.
13B or C. Yes, correct.
We're moving on to item 18, Precinct 2.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Item 18A, requesting approval of an interlocal cooperation agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the City of McAllen regarding a road extension and road improvements for the Precinct 2 Wayland Road project, and that is from Jackson Road to 10th Street.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 18A2, in accordance with Section 7910 1.014 of the Texas Government Code, requesting approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement project for the Precinct 2 Wayland Road project, with the limits being from Jackson Road to 10th Street.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, on item 18B and C, we need to discuss in executive session, and we can bring them back after executive session.
All right, sir. Item 19, Precinct 4.
Morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Item 19A, authorization and approval to purchase new business line service through county's membership participation with contract DIR TEX ANNG CTSA 005 with AT&T for the following business line: Precinct 4 off of Highway 186. That is our emergency service facility.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
19B is requesting approval to accept counter offer to purchase parcel 1 in the amount of $254,870 in connection with Precinct 4 North Alamo Road project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And we're requesting approval to process payment of claims to Mobile Mini totaling $4,246.68, with authority for County Treasurer to issue payment after reviewing and auditing procedures are completed by County Auditor.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Item 20, our Budget Office.
Morning, Judge, Commissioner, Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget and Management. Item 20A, discussion, consideration, and approval of resolution authorizing publication of the county's notice of intent to issue with respect to Hidalgo County's Texas Certificates of Obligation, Series 2017. This is the issuance for the projects that we had discussed last week. Judge, Commissioners, we did revise the amount to 32.5 for project funds, which would include $1 million for soft costs for the constituent services facilities. The notice on the resolution is for $33 million. However, the project funds are going to be $32. We just included the extra $500,000 in case there's any buffer for any issuance cost, or in case we decide to issue some of these bonds at a discount. But most likely we will issue those at a premium. I do have Mr. Troy Madras from Estrada Hinojosa to give you just a brief update on how the numbers changed based on what they presented last week.
Good morning. For the record, Troy Madras with Estrada Hinojosa. We did this presentation 2 weeks ago, and the only updates we've made is on page 1, the addition $1 million that Sergio has mentioned. We updated our finance plan, but really not much difference that we've seen here. The only thing that I do want to mention is on slide 4, we did made a few modifications to the timetable, and on slide 5, we do have our recommendations for the finance team. We'll serve as financial advisor. Bond counsel is J. Ramirez Law Firm. The underwriters would be Jeffries as senior manager, Stevens Incorporated as co-manager, William Blair as co-manager. Underwriters counsel is Locke Lord, and paying agent BNY Mellon, which we've used over the past few years. But otherwise, every single thing you've seen here is we've presented 2 weeks ago. I'm here to answer any other questions you might have.
Go ahead. The only thing that I brought up to the county to judge right now was countywide, sheriff constable equipment. Is that cars or equipment?
Vehicles. It'll be vehicles.
But for 30 years, COs? Come on.
No, the way that it works out is that we're paying for bonds over 20 years.
20 years.
So a lot of those vehicles will be paid off in the first early years.
Yeah,
We'll issue bonds that are going to get paid off within the first 5 years, and then there's going to be bonds that are going to be 20 years. We have bonds staggering almost every year. So basically, that's the rationale. The weighted average maturity of the bonds is over. Of the total bond, the total project is going to be over 22 years. So the average life of all of the assets that we'll be acquiring with these bonds are going to be in excess of the life of the bonds.
And that's just a way to be able to minimize the issuance cost as opposed to having several issuances, small issuances for tax notes for the vehicles. We lump them all together and be able to finance those. However, the bulk of the vehicles are going to get financed with those bonds within the first 5 years. That will be paid off.
So how is that going to be? I mean, if it's going to be one CO for $32 million, how are you going to separate it in two different?
Well, what happens is the lawyers take a look at the average life of the assets being purchased. So
Yeah, 'cause the cars won't last.
Right.
more than 5 years.
The cars
Not that long.
Yeah, the cars are very short, but everything else is very long. You know, courthouse related
No,
expenses.
I understand the courthouse and the buildings and the infrastructure, but I mean cars. That's the only thing that when I saw it, I freaked.
Right. They blend the average life of all the assets, and the average life ends up being much longer than the final term of the bond issue. So when we do that from a tax perspective and a legal perspective, it all works out, and you will see those bonds being paid off like you would in a mortgage from years 1 through 20.
But several years ago, I remember we had the same problem, and we went ahead and got them through the bank. You remember that, or somewhere else?
That was Secretary. That was that short-term financing went with respect to for the purchase
Yes,
of
and
vehicles.
we've done it previously. I believe 2014. We financed some vehicles with tax notes. We had 3 different issuances.
Right.
Again, the issuance cost at that time was a little bit more, so that's when we've decided to blend these in. If you look on page 3 of your tax impact statement, you do see that we have roughly about over $4.5 million worth of bonds that we're selling that are short-term bonds. So those are, in essence, the vehicles, the bonds that will be used to purchase these vehicles, and they'll be paid off within the first 5 years. And then we do have some longer-term bonds. As you see, one of the bonds is over $2 million. That's over 20 years. That's a 20-year term. So
Even though they're part of the bond for option. That's what I mean. Anybody or anything.
And
What happens to the vehicles after the 5-year period? Can they be
Auctioned
the
off?
question is, can
Yes.
they be okay?
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, we need to look into that because what if the bond company say, well, that's part of the collateral or whatever.
again, that's.
You've done it like this before?
Yes, we've done it like this before. We've done it previously. Normally, we've included the vehicles as part of the bond's proceeds. There's only, I believe, from my recollection, there was only 2 years that we've done it separately. In 2007, we issued tax notes for purchase of vehicles, and then in 2014, I believe we issued tax notes again for purchase of vehicles. However, we've included vehicle purchases in almost all of our other bond issuances.
Would we
as well.
be saving money by purchasing these vehicles through a local bank as opposed to?
No, most. I mean, we would expect that the interest payments are going to be the same as far as how we structure the bonds. Again, we're structuring the way we would do it if we were to do it separately. Basically, the tax notes would be paid short term, and then we'd have smaller interest payments on the longer term during the first 5 years. So we really wouldn't have any savings as far as interest savings. It's just a matter of how we structure the bonds.
So when you issue out these bonds, you do a blend of short-term and long-term bonds?
Yes.
And the short-term bonds cover the vehicles
Cover the
that
short-term
have a shorter
vehicles.
life. So
Yes.
they're-
Like we also include heavy equipment, which is normally a 10-year lifespan as well as far as useful life. And again, we have bonds that are issued that are paid off within the first 10 years.
So it's not a true 20-year bond all-encompassing for
No.
everything that we're buying?
Correct.
So the bond matches the life of the equipment and the assets that we're going to purchase?
That's correct.
All right.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. Item 20B, approval of 2017 unappropriation of funds in the amount of $13,916.63.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 20C1, approval of 2017 appropriation and interfund transfer from the Health Department Admin Fund 1293, unassigned fund balance to the Health Administration El Milagro Program 39 in the amount of $50,000.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 20C2, A and B, is approval of 2017 certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor and appropriation of those funds into Precinct 4 Maintenance Program in the amount of $178,354.10.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Item 21, purchasing.
Lord and behold, I can vote now. I'm 21. Okay. 21A, Hidalgo County, presentation of the sole responsible vendor, Ergon Asphalt and Emulsion, submitting the lowest and best bid, and the award of the contract as well for the project titled SS1 Emulsified Asphalt and Delivery Services.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item A2, this is presenting and recommending the vendor submitting the lowest and best bid approved for the service contract with Gunco Arms LLC for the purchase of firearms for Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, bid number 118. We had 22 packets distributed, 3 bids were received.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B1, this is for the County Judge's Office requesting authority to purchase and enter into a 36 monthly subscription agreement for online services with Thomson Reuters West Publishing Corporation and authority to execute required agreement for the County Judge's Office through the following requisition as noted at $162.50 per month.
For approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
C1, Precinct 1, requesting acceptance and approval of certificate of construction completion is submitted by Texas Cordia Construction, reflecting the date of 2/3/17 for paving and drainage improvements, mile 14 and a half, which is mile 4 to mile 6.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is requesting acceptance and approval of application for payment number 6, retainage release, in the amount of $31,478.30 as submitted through Texas Cordia Construction for the provision of the drainage improvements of mile 14 and a half mile 4 to 6 under contract 280.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is Commissioner Precincts 1 Office requesting that Commissioners Court to accept and approve a public purpose pursuant to an order for public purpose pursuant to Texas Constitution Article 3, Section 52, for the request to purchase promotional items. Items needed to be purchased through current term as such, but not limited to the items listed, and this is for outreach or any education purposes for the precinct.
Can I clarify, though, that this is also for the use of the county logo on these promotional products? Because
Correct.
my understanding is we have to get that approved through the court. Is that?
That'll be inclusive, yes, sir.
Is that a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D, Precinct 2, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is presentation of scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court of the firms that were graded and evaluated for the from the approved pool of engineering service providers for Las Milpas Youth Facility. That was B to Z 98, Hinojos Engineering 95, LNG Engineering 96. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional services agreement commencing with the number 1 ranked firm of B to Z.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is approval of work authorization 4 with an estimated cost of $13,736 as submitted by Terracon Consultants, contract number 208, to provide it construction materials testing for the countywide mechanic shop facility project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Acceptance and approval under 3A to execute a final form of professional engineering services agreement subject to legal counsel's review with B to Z Engineering for Whalen Road Extension Project.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B is acceptance and approval of work authorization 1 with an estimated cost of $149,467.95 is submitted by project engineer B to Z for schematic design, environment limited public involvement, and design survey for Wayland Road Extension Project.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And pursuant to current agreement with B to Z Engineering in Hidalgo County, Article 14, a request by the engineer to permit the subcontracting of ROW surveying services in connection with contract number 182 for Wayland Road Extension Project.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 4, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements, Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking of the firms graded and evaluated from the pool. This is Javier Hinojosa Engineering 95, Quintanilla Headley and Associates 98, and Cruz Hogan and Consultants Incorporated 96. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Authority for the purchasing department to commence negotiations with the number 1 ranked firm of Quintanilla Headley and Associates.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 5A, acceptance and approval of work authorization 9 with an estimated cost of $260,673.64 as submitted by project engineer L&G Consulting to provide environmental reevaluation, public involvement, and schematic design for the Precinct 2 Regional Linear Park Project, Segment 2, through contract number 046.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And B is pursuant to the contract with L&G under Article 14, a request for approval for engineer to permit the subcontracting of ROW Surveying Services LLC and B2Z Engineering in connection with work authorization 9 for the Regional Linear Park Project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 6, acceptance and approval of work authorization 2 with an estimated cost of $1,758,973.46 as submitted by L&G, contract number 336 to provide PS&E ROW mapping and surveying services needed for the Precinct 2 Eldora Road project from Jackson to I-Road.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, pursuant to the contract with L&G Engineering, Article 14, a request for them to subcontract ROW Surveying Services LLC, Ergonomic Transportation Solutions Incorporated, and B2Z Engineering in connection with work authorization 2 for Eldora Road project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 7, acceptance and approval of work authorization 5 with an estimated cost of $25,038.40 as submitted by project engineer B2Z to provide off-system bridge repair details that are identified in the 2016 Off-System Bridge Inspection Report provided by TxDOT through contract number 326.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
For Precinct 4, Item 1, acceptance and approval of an AIA form of agreement with the Warren Group Architects in connection with the design and construction of the Memorial Park Phase 1 project for Precinct 4, and that is subject to legal's final review.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is requesting acceptance and approval of the following requests for payment submitted by JCON Construction. This is for the Lynn San Manuel Emergency Facility, PO number 712761. Payment application A is 13 with a credit of $100.70, and B is payment application 14, retainage $66,194.51.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3 is acceptance and approval of a certificate of substantial completion submitted and certified by project architect Mata Garcia Architects, reflecting the date of November 30th, 2016, by Curic Enterprises, LLC, DBA Foremost Construction, awarded contractor for the Precinct 4 construction of a community resource center in San Carlos.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item F is for Health and Human Services Department, discussion, consideration, approval of Amendment 1 to the Interlocal Cooperation Agreement between Hidalgo County and the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston to extend the term of the agreement by the end of October 2017.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item G, this is for Elections Department, approve an order establishing the public purpose for the purchase of miscellaneous items, printed materials, supplies, promotional items, and related articles for the Hidalgo County Elections Department outreach campaign to promote, educate, and inform the voters and residents of the county at events and locations as listed, including the logo, if necessary, on such items.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item H1, Sheriff's Department, presentation of the sole responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best bid for the purposes of award and approval of contract. This is for generator maintenance, service, and repairs at Sheriff's Office. We had 13 packets requested, 1 incomplete, and 1 sole response eligible for award. And this is with, I'm sorry, I don't have the name. I will put that in the record with the County Clerk's Office.
So we're okay? We're okay with the motion?
Marty, is there any way you can?
Yes, if somebody will just read the backup for me. It gives me an idea. I didn't catch that when I was reviewing, I'm sorry. Holt-Cat?
Holt-Cat.
Holt-Cat.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. And the County Clerk, I-1, requesting approval to accept sole bid and approval of contract with Master Fibers Incorporated, meeting all specifications and requirements for bid number 058. This is the purchase, removal, and related services for shredded and recyclable materials. 5 packets distributed, 1 response and bid received.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. That is all I have.
All right. Item 22, open forum. Anyone sign up?
Yes, Judge, Commissioners, we do have some participants. We have 5 participants. First one is Arnie Amaro. Amaro. My apologies, Amaro. Again, I will remind everybody in the audience, we have a 3-minute time limit. I will let the speaker know when there's 1 minute left, and I'll ask for everyone to please respect the speaker's time at the podium. Mr. Amaro?
Thank you, Mr. Executive Officer. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
I'm the City Administrator for the City of Levilla, and I'm here representing our small community. And we just had a small concern from some of our residents in regards to response time with the 911. And we're just trying to create some awareness if we can get some more assistance with the response time as far as coming into our community when we do have emergencies.
So you're talking about ambulance or?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make sure to look into it.
We'll look into it.
Yeah, it's District Number 1.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Rocio Hernandez. Rocio Hernandez. Okay. Next presenter is Ms. Fern McClarity.
Yes, I've got several things I need to talk today about. The first one, I did an open records, don't take it off my time, don't mess with my time. March the 10th, I did an open records request and went through all kinds of problems to finally get it, even through the AG. They said, give it to me. So May 8th, I got a bill saying I needed to pay, so I paid it. And now I'm still waiting. They told me that day that I had 10 days to pay it or it would be closed. How much time do y'all have after I've paid it to get it to me? Like I say, this is March 10th, March 8th. Now you see that we're in June. So if you would please get me some information. And I've been told I shouldn't have paid it up front, but I was told if I didn't pay it that the thing would be closed. The second thing, I did a participation form, and I gave you some numbers just now. I wanted to know, we did find out there's only one more deputy that's going to be added to Precinct 1. What we would like to know is, you were talking at the commission about $600,000 just for the Delta area, and that would give 10 full deputies that would be out there. And I know that they're talking about protection and everything, but the constables, like I said, are open from 7 to 4 out there. And the sheriff's office, I believe, is open 24/7. So we would like you to look at the numbers that I've given you right there. You will see most of the work is being done 2008 to 2016, but just look at the 2015 and 26 numbers alone. I believe all the precincts should be doing the same numbers if they are about the same size. They do civil, criminal, child support. The product activity should should be the same numbers or close by. Also, if you are thinking of cutting, I would like to know if you're going to cut Precinct 1 in half, making that Precinct 5 you're talking about, are you going to cut the salary for Precinct 1 constable, because he's going to have a lot less territory to take care of. So I wish you'd look at those numbers and think about it. Safety, again, is up to the people. I just can't tell them enough that it's up to them in their area. And also, I would like to, the commissioners, I'm here to advise you that the OWLs will continue to provide information concerning the facts that your actions are the reason the people of Hidalgo are paying more taxes. The construction of a courthouse, the purchase of additional equipment for the sheriff's office, and finally the allocation of $6 million to each of the commissioners will be definitely in an increase in tax. So what do you do when families in your precinct come to your office and say that they cannot pay their taxes? Do you tell them that it's because you voted to build a new courthouse for judges that do not come to work Monday to Friday every day? That the companies that the county has given tax abatements will create jobs for them? If you understand the majority of the families in the Hidalgo County are poor, how can you continue to imply that your actions will not raise the cost of living? I believe everyone just recently got their appraised values. Is it true that families are poor? Did you already give me the minute?
3.
Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, it's y'all, what y'all spend, what y'all do is costing and hurting the families in Hidalgo County.
Thank you. Our next presenter is Laura Guerra.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners. My name is Laura Guerra, and I'm a community organizer with our organization Arise. I'm here on behalf of Arise, along with Lupe, and we would just like to thank you for the quarterly meetings that we've been having, just to talk about the infrastructure current projects, and specifically for making some time to listen to our leaders and hear the people that are being affected by the floodings and all those issues. We would just like to thank you for that, and we look forward to continue having these meetings in the future, and just to let you know that if you guys need anything, we're here to serve you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Our last presenter is Andrea Landeros.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Andrea Landeros y soy organizadora comunitaria de Organización Arise. Y pues una de las cosas que estamos abogando dentro de nuestra organización, ¿verdad?, es en el área de medio ambiente. Y uno de los temas por los que estamos abogando es la contaminación del pescado de la laguna de Dona, que está causando mucho cáncer, ¿verdad?, a la gente que está consumiéndolo. Hay gente que no nada más lo consume, sino que lo pesca y lo vende. Entonces hay una gran preocupación por esto, ¿verdad? Entonces quiero agradecerle al comisionado David Fuentes y al comisionado Eddie Cantú por hacer presencia en estas juntas, ¿verdad? Nos estuvo acompañando el señor Pepe Cabeza de Vaca del precinto 1 y el señor Rogelio del precinto 2. Y pues seguimos, ¿verdad?, con la abogacía en este tema, que es de suma importancia. La reunión la tuvimos el día 31 de mayo con la agencia EPA y pues la EPA estuvo haciendo un tratamiento, ¿verdad?, de electrocutación de pescado por más de una semana, pero sabemos que esto no va a traer la solución. Entonces, próximamente tendremos una junta pública, una audiencia pública, y esperamos su apoyo y su presencia. Gracias.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm going to be translating. My name is Andrea Landeros, and I'm a community organizer with Arise. And one of the themes that Arise has been advocating for is the contamination of the fish from the Laguna of Donna, the Donna system, canals and irrigation system. The community continues to fish and consume the fish that have the PCBs, which are that were found to be causing cancer. They fish and they sell the fish. And I just want to thank Commissioner Eddie Cantu and Commissioner David Fuentes for your support. And Pepe Cabeza de Vaca with Precinct 1 and Mr. Rogelio with Precinct 2 were also there. And we had a meeting with EPA. We had a meeting with EPA May 30th, and what they started doing last week is a treatment electrocuting the fish from the Laguna. So we just wanted to really thank you for supporting our efforts and continue to work together.
Thank you. Judge, Commissioners, we have a closed session.
All right, pursuant to 551-071 and 072, need a motion to proceed to executive session.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We will be in executive session for a short while. All right, we're back in open session.
Mr. Garza?
What number was that, Mundo?
13, I believe, Judge.
It was
13.
18 B and C.
18 B and C.
Judge, Commissioners, on item 18B, we're requesting approval to accept the counteroffer to purchase a tract of land known as Parcel 1, Part 1 and 2 for the Precinct 2 Las Milpas Bridge Replacement Project.
We need to state the amount.
Yes.
It is $2,663.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 18C, requesting approval to accept the counteroffer to purchase a tract of land known as Parcel 2, Part 1 and 2 of the Precinct 2 Las Milpas Bridge Replacement Project.
And the amount.
And the amount is $3,995.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, under open session, item 25. Item 25, air real estate acquisition appropriation for same. Nothing to be acted on today. Well, the action's already been taken. No further action to be taken. Item 25B, pending and potential litigation. There's no action. 25C, C2248-17-B, Mary Alice Palacios versus County of Hidalgo. Judge, Commissioners, this was previously a claim through representation, and we were being represented by the firm of Addison Rodriguez through Mr. Rex Leach. There was a suit filed. And so, out of an abundance of caution, and just to put on the record, I'd like to take action again under item 24, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code, Section 262.024A for a professional service for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
24B, requesting engagement with the firm of Atlas Hall and Rodriguez for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation and authority to submit letter of engagement subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, and this is specific to C2248-17-B, Mary Alice Palacios versus County of Hidalgo.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 25D, C2525-17-I, Jose Pablo Luna versus Hombrero Reina Casas in Hidalgo County, Texas. This is being facilitated by our in-house legal counsel, civil litigation, district attorney's office, Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office. And so I'm putting that on the record. If I get a motion to that effect.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Cause number, item 25E, cause number C5028-15-G, John Ray Rodriguez et al. Versus County of Hidalgo, Texas et al. Again, Judge Commissioners, for the record, this is being facilitated by Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office, civil litigation at the DA's office. And again, we'll proceed as directed, and if I could just, for purposes of having a motion and action on Josie's representation of the county.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
25F, claimant from Frontier Communications Northwest, Inc. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $396.60.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 25G, claim of David Rojano. Again, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $2,504.37.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
And 25H, claim of Brian Hawthorne. I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $5,452.57.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, our next court session is on the 27th, but I know that we've been working through our attorneys with respect to the courthouse project. I am reserving potentially having Commissioners Court next week if we can finalize everything this week, Judge, Commissioners, on the courthouse project for some type of action next week. If not, then our next court session is on the 27th.
Very good, sir.
Okay? And if we do have court next week, it would be on Tuesday.
And let us know.
Yes, I will let you know.
Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Approve.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.